Everyone, welcome back to the last episode. The morning sunlight is split into the bedroom, casting a warm glow over Taehyung's face. He stayed awake, blinking slowly. The weight of an arm draped over his waist made his heart race. Jungkook, the memories of last night floated in his mind. The confession, the kiss, the warmth of feeling being together. Taehyung turned his head slightly. Finding Jungkook still asleep beside him, his usual cold expression was gone, replaced by something peaceful. A small smile crept into Taehyung's lips. Taehyung softly, "You look better when you are not scrolling." Jungkook gone, pulling Taehyung closer, burying his face in his neck. Jungkook mumbling, "Hi, and you talk too much in the morning." Taehyung giggled, feeling Jungkook's breath tickling his skin. Taehyung, "Let me go. I need to freshen up." Jungkook is smirking, "Not happening." Taehyung sighed dramatically, but didn't push him away. Taehyung whispering, "I like this side of you." Jungkook pulled back slightly, his dark eyes looking onto Taehyung. Jungkook, "Then get used to it, because I'm never going to let you feel alone again." Taehyung felt a blush crept up his cheeks. He was about to respond when Honey breaking into the room. "Okay, lovebirds, breakfast is ready." "Oh my god." Taehyung shrieked, scrambling to sit up while Jungkook gone in frustration. Jungkook grumbling, "Honey, I swear, honey." Honey is smirking, "So it finally happened, huh?" Taehyung covered his face in embarrassment while Honey clapped her hands. "Honey, don't worry, I wouldn't tease you too much for now, but come about it. Taehyung, "Your sister is evil." Jungkook clenching, "Yeah, but you loved her." Taehyung said, "Maybe he did." Later that day, Jungkook had been acting strange since breakfast, restless, constantly checking his phone. Taehyung finally confronted him. Taehyung, "Okay, what's going on? You look like you are hiding something." Jungkook smiled. "Jungkook, come with me." Curious, Taehyung followed Jungkook outside. To his surprise, a sleek black car was parked in the driveway, and beside it stood a beautiful white puppy. Taehyung gasped. "Taehyung, what is this?" Jungkook held out the puppy to him. "Jungkook, for you. I remember you told me you always wanted one." Taehyung's eyes filled with tears as he held the tiny pup in his hand. Jungkook tugged a strand of hair behind Taehyung's ear. "Jungkook, I want to make you happy." Taehyung sniffed, hugging Jungkook tightly. "Taehyung, you already do." Jungkook smiled, pressing a soft kiss to Taehyung's forehead. For the first time in a long time, their hearts felt light. Taehyung sat on the living room floor, watching the tiny white puppy roll around in the lap. His heart melted at the little fur ball. "Cuteness, Honey, grinning. So what's the name?" Taehyung hummed in thought. Taehyung, I think Snow." Jungkook raised an eyebrow. "Snow?" Taehyung nodding firmly, "Yes." Look at him, he is fluffy and white, just like Snow. Jungkook clenches, sitting beside him. Jungkook, "Snow, it is." Then Snow barked happily, his tiny tail. Taehyung giggled, stroking his soft fur. Honey teasing, "Wow." Jungkook, first a confession, now a puppy. "Are you sure you are the same guy who were scrolling all day long?" Jungkook rolled his eyes. "Do you want me to go back to?" Honey grinning, "No, no, keep being the lovesick puppy for Taehyung. It's cute." Taehyung blushed, looking away. Jungkook smirked at his reaction, feeling satisfied. Later that day, the first date, Jungkook pulled the car to a stop near a quiet lakeside. The water shimmering under the soft afternoon sun reflecting the golden hue of the sky. Taehyung looked around in awe. Taehyung excitedly, Jungkook, this place is beautiful. Jungkook got out of the car, walking around to open Taehyung's door. Jungkook softly, I wanted to bring you something peaceful. Taehyung smiled, stepping out. They walk along the lake hand in hand. Jungkook had never done something like this before, holding someone's hand so naturally, without fear, without anger. They sat on the beach, overlooking the water. Jungkook looked at him. Do you regret it? Taehyung shook his head immediately. Taehyung, no, I don't regret falling for you, Jungkook. Jungkook felt a tightness in his chest. He reached out, brushing his fingers over Taehyung's cheek. Jungkook, you are too good for me. Taehyung, fine, don't say that. Jungkook, it's true. I hurt you, I doubt you, and yet you still stayed. Taehyung softly, because I saw the real you, Jungkook, the one who was hurting, the one who was lost, and his voice trembled. Taehyung, I wanted to be the person who brought you back. Jungkook's heart pounded. He leaned in, closing the distance between them. Their lips met, soft, slow, and filled with emotion they couldn't put into words. The world faded away, leaving only them. Meanwhile, in a dimly light prison cell, Jihan sat on the bed, smoking. A man in a black suit stood beside him. Before him, Jihan survived the gunshot. When police came there, they took him hospital and shifted him to the prison. Man, everything is ready, sir. Just say the word. Jihan clenched darkly. Jihan, it's time to remind my son that happiness never lasted. The moon cast a silver glow over the quiet mansion as Jungkook pulled them into their bedroom. It had been a long, exhausting day, but for once there was no tension between them, only warmth, only love. And teasing, you have been staring. With low eyes, no, you look beautiful. Taehyung's breathing changed as Jungkook's fingers gently tracked the outline of his face. The way Jungkook looked at him now, it was so different from the cold, distant glare from before. There was love in his gaze, a kind of adoration that made Taehyung's heart race. Jungkook cupped Taehyung's face, his thumb brushing against his lower lip. Jungkook whispering, I love you, Taehyung. Taehyung's eyes widened, his heart felt full, overflowing with emotion. Taehyung softly said again. Jungkook clenched it, pressing his forehead against Taehyung's. Jungkook, I love you. Taehyung smiled, wrapping his arm around Jungkook's neck. Taehyung, I love you too, Jungkook. Jungkook leaned in, capturing Taehyung's lips in a slow, lingering kiss. It wasn't rushed, wasn't desperate, it was gentle, full of love. They had both fought so hard to reach. Jungkook pulled Taehyung closer, feeling his warmth, his presence, the way his heart beat against his chest. Jungkook mumbling against his lips, I will never let anything happen to you. Taehyung smiling. I know. They spent the night in each other's embrace, no barrier, no walls between them, just love. At dawn, Jungkook's phone burst, pulling him out of sleep. He began reaching for it. Youngie, serious voice, it's time. Jungkook sat up, fully awake. He looked at Taehyung, who was still sleeping peacefully. Jungkook softly, I will be back. Jungkook softly, I will be back. An hour later, Jungkook stood outside the high-security prison where Jihan was being held. He entered the visitor room, finding his father sitting there with a smug smile. Jihan clenching, so my dear son finally came to see me. Jungkook didn't react. He placed a file on the table. Jungkook calmly, there are all the crimes you have committed: murder, blackmail, corruption. The authorities have enough to give you a death sentence. Jihan's smile faded. Jihan coldly, "You think you have won?" Jungkook leaned in. Jungkook whispering, "You lost the moment you hurt the people I love." Jihan clenching his jaw, but Jungkook wasn't done. Jungkook, "Oh, and by the way, your little escape plan, it wouldn't work. Your men, they are all being arrested." Jihan's eyes widened for the first time. Panic crossed his face. Jungkook firmly, "You wouldn't ever come near me or Taehyung again." Jihan laughed bitterly. "Jihan, you sounds like a man in love." Jungkook smirked. "Jungkook, I am." The guard entered. "Guard, Jihan, your time is up." Jihan was dragged away. His scream of anger echoed through the room. Jungkook's chill, it was over. That evening, Jungkook returned home to Taehyung, who was waiting for him in the garden. Jungkook, Taehyung worriedly, "Is everything okay?" Jungkook smiled, pulling Taehyung into his arms. "Jungkook, everything is perfect now." Taehyung sighed in relief, resting his head against Jungkook's chest. Taehyung softly, "Then let's be happy, Jungkook." Jungkook kissed the top of Taehyung's head, tightening his hold. "Jungkook, we will be forever. The past was behind them. Now only love remained." The end. Some bonus scenes. Hope you will love it. 1 year later, the sun shone warmly over their garden as Taehyung sat one on the swing, sipping iced coffee. He watched Jungkook, who was fixing a small wooden bench under the tree, looking effortlessly handsome in a white shirt and jeans. Taehyung teasing, "You are really bad at this, you know." Jungkook shot him a playful glare. Jungkook, "Excuse me? I am a businessman, not a carpenter." Taehyung giggling, setting his coffee aside before walking over. He sat beside Jungkook, watching his hands struggling with the screws. Taehyung smiling, "Want me to help?" Jungkook is smirking, putting the screwdriver down before turning to face Taehyung. Jungkook softly, "The only thing I need help with is controlling myself around you." Taehyung blushing instantly. Taehyung muttering, "Yep, stop being so cheesy." Jungkook clenched, pulling Taehyung into his lap. Jungkook whispering, "You love it." Taehyung didn't argue because he did love it. He loved how Jungkook had changed, how the cold and distant man he first met had turned into someone warm, loving and protective. Taehyung softly, "I never thought you would have this. We would have this, you know." Jungkook titled his head. Jungkook, "Have what?" Taehyung, "Peace, love, happiness." Jungkook smiling, brushing Taehyung's hair. Felt his heart swell as Jungkook leaned in, kissing him softly. The gentle breeze carried the soft accent of flower around them, and for the first time in a long while, the world was truly calm. No more revenge, no more fear, only love. As the sunset painting the sky in hues of pink and orange, Jungkook held them close, whispering against his lips, "Jungkook, forever, okay?" Taehyung smiling, "Forever," and they meant it. The morning sun pricked through the bedroom curtains, casting a glow over the cozy space. Taehyung groaned softly as he felt the warmth of Jungkook's arm wrap tightly around his waist. Taehyung mumbling, "Jungkook, let me go. I need to make breakfast." Jungkook, still half asleep, only tightening his hold, pouring his face into Taehyung's neck. Jungkook grumbling, "No, stay 5 more minutes." Taehyung smiling softly, running his fingers through Jungkook's messy hair. Taehyung, "You said that 15 minutes ago." Jungkook let out a dramatic sigh before finally losing his grip. Taehyung clenched as he sat up. Stretching his arm just as he was about to leave, Jungkook grabbed his wrist and pulled him back down on the bed. Jungkook is mocking, "Fine, but I need payment before I let you go." Taehyung rolled his eyes but leaned down, pressing a soft kiss on Jungkook's lips. Taehyung, "They're happy?" Jungkook pretended to think before shaking his head. Jungkook grinning. "One more?" Taehyung sighed playfully but kissed him again, lingering. This time, when they pulled away, Jungkook looked way too satisfied. Taehyung huffing, "Now let me go, you bird." Jungkook laughed, finally allowing Taehyung to. He watched as Taehyung padded towards the kitchen, his oversized sweater hanging loosely off his shoulder. A little while later, Jungkook walked into the kitchen, rubbing his eyes sleepily. The smell of pancakes and coffee filled the air. He snuck up behind Taehyung, wrapping his arm around his waist. Again, Jungkook's winning. "Why do you always wake up so early?" Taehyung flipping the pancake, clutched Taehyung, "Because someone has to make sure we don't strive." Jungkook humming in agreement before placing a kiss on Taehyung's cheek. "Jungkook, you are too good to me." Taehyung turned around, popping Jungkook's nose. Taehyung smiling, "And don't you forget it." He knew at that moment that no matter what happened, as long as he had Taehyung, he had a home, and that was more than enough. After breakfast, Jungkook sat on the couch, scrolling through his phone while Taehyung cleaned up the kitchen. The peaceful morning was perfect until Jungkook decided to mess with his husband. Jungkook calling out, "Baby, come here for a second." Taehyung wiping his hand on a towel before walking over. Taehyung, What is it?" Jungkook is mocking, suddenly grabbing Taehyung's wrist and pulling him onto his lap. Taehyung let out a small yelp, glaring at Jungkook, who only grinning mischievously. Taehyung huffing, "Jungkook, I swear." Before he could finish, Jungkook picked his side, making Taehyung jolt. Taehyung gasping, "Don't you dare." Jungkook is mocking one wider, his fingers already wiggling in the air. Jungkook teasing, "Oh, you mean this?" Without warning, he launched a full-on tickle attack. Taehyung burst into laughter, trying to scream away, but Jungkook was too strong. Taehyung laughing uncontrollably. Jungkook, "Stop, I swear." Jungkook grinning, "Swear what? That you love me?" Taehyung tried to glare, but his giggle ruined the effect. Taehyung panting, "You are such a bird." Taking advantage of Jungkook's slight distraction, Taehyung suddenly grabbed a cushion from the couch and smacked Jungkook's head with it. Jungkook dramatic gasp, "Oh, you did not just." Taehyung quickly jumped off Jungkook's lap, grabbing another cushion from the fence. Taehyung is mocking, "What? Scared you, Jian?" Jungkook narrowed his eyes before laughing. "Jungkook, you are asking for a war?" Kim Taehyung, a full-blown pillow fight broke out. Laughter filled the air as they ran around the living room, smashing each other with cushions. At one point, Taehyung tripped on the carpet and Jungkook catch him just in time, pulling him into his arms. Both of them stood there, breathless and smiling. Jungkook softly, "You are really cute. You know that?" Taehyung cheek turned pink, but he heard Taehyung pouting, "You are still a bird." Jungkook glanced, leaning in to press a gentle kiss on Taehyung's forehead. "Jungkook, and you still love me?" Taehyung rolled his eyes but couldn't hide his smile as he mumbled Taehyung softly, Yeah, I do." Jungkook grinned, pulling Taehyung into a warm hug, holding him close, and just like that, all the chaos, all the hardship they had faced, it all led to this moment, a love that was playful, deep, and more importantly, felt like home. The end. So everyone, how was this? his story. Comment me down. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll start a new one. That is going to be a Demon King and his love spring god. Hope you will love that too. And what do you think about this new story that I'm going to start? Comment me down. See you again. Bye bye. Love you. Bye.